Hello, everybody. My name is Ray. Welcome to the Evangelical Dark Web. Today, we'll be talking about The Chosen and how they are promoting Pastor Levi Lusko. Now, I've written extensively on Levi Lusko. I've not written extensively on The Chosen. I do intend to watch that series and do a video review um, series on that television show. However, I've not yet watched The Chosen or put in the time. The next video review of Christian film reviews that I'll be doing is on Fireproof. So subscribe to the channel below so you don't miss that. And also subscribe to evangelicaldarkweb.org so you can get these deep articles that I write on people like Levi Lusko. And so let's dive into the issue of The Chosen. Now, The Chosen is just one of these, it's a pretty much the biggest thing going on in Christian evangelical circles as far as like a television show goes. And I don't want to compare it to The Shack from like 10 years ago because, obviously I don't think it's that heretical. And I'm not saying that The Chosen is heretical at all. I've yet to see it. But there is this attraction to it. A lot of people are praising it. I haven't really heard a whole lot of criticism of it, so I'm curious to see how well the show holds up. I could be wrong. And it's a great show. I think it might be actually a really good show. Or, and this could be foreboding that it's not really all that biblical. And we'll see what the truth is. It could be somewhere in between, that they do a lot of things well, they do a lot of things not so well. But what I specifically want to talk to today is about how they promoted Levi Lusko on one of their latest streams. I believe it was a season finale stream that they did on YouTube. And one of the things that I noticed is they do not regularly have special guests on their show. So they don't regularly just have celebrity pastors come in as a guest on their channel. Now, they probably our guest appearances on all sorts of other channels. And I don't begrudge them for promoting a TV show that, in theory, presents the gospel. I don't begrudge them that at all, especially, even if they are going to false teachers podcast because, maybe their audience will hear the gospel from their TV show. And that could be the case. So, but that's not what this is about. We're talking about them bringing on someone who I would argue is a false teacher on their channel. So, let's just break down who Levi Lusko is. Or The Chosen is a television series on the life of Jesus and with a special emphasis on his apostles, on the 12 disciples. That is my impression of what The Chosen is. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. And again, I've yet to see it, so I don't know how good it is. Now, Levi Lusko, I would argue, is the smarter version of Stephen Furtick. Now, Stephen Furtick is basically your Joe Biden gaffe level machine. But Levi Lusko is like the smart version of that. But I do think Levi Lusko is also, he's cut from the same cloth. He is, so in my article on Levi Lusko, and I'll link that in the description below, I talk about his background. So his background is deep in the Emergent Church. His father, Chip Lusko, was definitely part of this corrupt faction of pastors that worked under Skip Heitzig, I believe his name was, who was basically using a church as his own piggy bank to fund his radio ministry, despite the fact that he wasn't working at that church anymore. He left to take a higher paying job, I assume, at a different church. Yet he's still very much in control of the church that he just left, despite resigning. And it's a very weird situation that Chip Lusko, Levi Lusko's father, was on the wrong and sinful end of, or side of. And, so that's Levi Lusko's theological background or his upbringing. And I assume that they trained him to be a pastor because I believe he started his church, Fresh Life Church, out in Montana in around 2008 era. But other than that, he's basically your West Coast or Rocky Mountain Stephen Furtick, Craig Rochelle, Mike Todd. He's basically one of them. Pretty much the same. But what really bugs me about Levi Lusko is he is the type to write a book and then preach a sermon series on that book. I take issue with that for obvious reasons. We just talked about Ed Litton plagiarizing sermons. We just talked about people like J.D. Greer using Docent Research Group to probably write their own sermons, and to write a book and then write a sermon or preach a sermon on that book is wrong as well. If not, easily you could argue that there's a financial motivation for doing that. And again, I don't think that's the role of a pastor. If you want to adapt your past sermons into book form and then sell that, that is one thing. But to write the book first is a little bit shady. And that's what Levi Lusko did. And, I've seen so many of his sermons that I've probably seen at least 20 sermons of his just researching him. And he's very catered to women, like extremely catered to women. He knows how to dress like a metrosexual. He knows how to dress like a lumbersexual. And he knows how to preach to women. There's no blunt way, or there's no delicate way to say that. There's a lot of talk about how, the church has a men problem, that, they don't attract men to the church. And he's, a textbook example of let's attract women to bring in men to the church. My opinion on that. So, the people behind The Chosen invited him as a special guest to celebrate their stream, I believe, of the season finale of their show this past Sunday, I believe. And the reason why I know about this is because I got a lot of web traffic from that event. So, and then I realized, why am I getting a lot of web traffic from this event? Oh, because Levi Lusko was on The Chosen. So a lot of people probably didn't know who Levi Lusko was, and then, looked him up afterwards. And, he's a shady guy. He's basically your Rocky Mountain Stephen Furtick. That is the best way to describe him, except he's not a Joe Biden gaffe machine like Stephen Furtick, because Stephen Furtick's probably generally unintelligent. And Levi Lusko is extremely intelligent. So, and I just think it's weird that the most popular Christian TV show is really trying to glom onto and bring on the celebrity and endorse the celebrity of one of the most popular rising pastors in the United States. Now, I believe the specific reason they brought him on was because, he tragically had his little girl, he had a daughter that died at like age 6. And yeah, that's a really sad story. And I believe that they brought him on to kind of highlight the fact that the creators of The Chosen came out of one of their biggest failure yet, and then created The Chosen, which is their biggest success yet. And I guess that's the reason why they brought him on. I listened to part of it. But again, I just think it's dangerous and perhaps foreboding of the theology of the show. Now, I've not watched the show, but this seems a little bit foreboding, this lack of discernment in bringing on and promoting celebrity pastors that you have no business promoting as a Christian, to help you talk about a Christian TV show. So that's a little bit foreboding to me. Now, comment below if I'm wrong about that. Let me know what you think about The Chosen. Now, because what you say in the comment section won't taint my opinion of it either way. Like, I will go into it unbiased, because I can do that like an adult. Like, I can evaluate a film on its own merits, regardless of whether what I've heard about it in the past. I can watch a movie with spoilers. What was it? The Last Jedi. I watched that like a year after it came out. So I know how to go into a movie and say, okay, this works, except The Last Jedi is an objectively bad movie. I don't even know how that was debatable. Like, that movie, I don't even know how that was debatable. That was just a horrendous movie. I don't even know how you debate that. But apparently people did. So let me know what you think about The Chosen. Give me some warning signs to look out for, and I'll see if you're right about that. I'll see if you're wrong about that, and hopefully I'll get around to doing a review series on that. And just subscribe for that. Like I said, so that's all I got to say about that. I'm not a fan of promoting fake pastors, celebrities in general. And I think Levi Lusko is one of them. And I've done extensive research on that to back that up. And I'll link that in the description below. But my name is Ray. This is the Evangelical Dark Web. If you like this kind of content, subscribe to the channel as well. Check out Evangelical Dark Web, especially that Levi Lusko article. And again, let me know what you think about what I think. Have a blessed day, and I will catch you on the next one.